Joining me right now from the White House to weigh in, Special Assistant to President Trump, Kelly Riddell Sadler. Kelly, good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Maria.
So this deal extends funding for 3 weeks. Are we going to be back in the same position on February 8th? Are we going to just live from week to week like this?
Well, you know, the president has been very clear with his immigration principles and what he wants to see out of immigration reform. And we have been making very good progress in putting together a deal and feel optimistic about it. Basically, the president wants to see, you know, 4 things. He wants a permanent DACA fix, but he also wants border security, and that includes a physical border wall. He additionally wants an end to chain migration, which means, you know, an immigrant bringing in all of the brothers, sisters, relatives, extended family, as well as an end to the visa diversity lottery system, which basically admits 35 people a year into this country completely at random. We want to go to a merit-based solution.
Well, these are all very practical ideas, and I assume that the Democrats wanted that as well, and yet they still staged this whole big thing and a shutdown in the government, which, by the way, the markets didn't even flinch about. What was it that turned? How did you actually end up coming to a deal, the Congress? How did that happen?
Well, I think that the minority leader badly miscalculated. I mean, basically, he held hostage 327 tax-paying Americans to get an immigration deal through. And he found out quite quickly that that was not popular with the American public. A Harvard poll yesterday came out and said 58% of people disapproved of shutting down the government to try to force us to negotiate immigration reform. So it was a bad miscalculation on his part, and I think he realized it when he got his, the 10 senators that he represents from states where the president won handedly, and states like Missouri, like North Dakota, like West Virginia, that he didn't have the votes to sustain this for much further.
Yeah, that was incredible. Were you referring to the population of America, 327 million? Is that what you were just referring to?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Kelly, let me switch gears because we want to ask you about these new tariffs on solar panels, on washing machines that the president has instituted yesterday following recommendations from the U.S. International Trade Commission. Whirlpool's chairman is applauding the move, but the founder of one solar firm in Philadelphia says tariffs of up to 30% would be, quote, shooting ourselves in the foot. Is this the beginning of a new round of tariffs coming out of the U.S.?
Well, I think you're seeing the president's, America First agenda put into place here. He was very vocal on the campaign trail about he's for free and open trade, but that trade needs to be fair and reciprocal. And so what you see with these trade actions was that back in June, the USTR opened, an investigation basically looking at the washer situation, what LG and Samsung were doing. And they determined and brought a recommendation to the president that they indeed were caught, in anti-dumping clauses. They were over-manufacturing Mexico, then moved their plants to China, then now moved them to Vietnam. And this was very unfair to Whirlpool. We saw when we brought this investigation up in June that we immediately saw LG and Samsung announce they're building new plants in America, new manufacturing plants in America, and we welcome that. And we also saw with Whirlpool yesterday announcing 200 new jobs at their Ohio facility, and we expect more investment from them to come. This president is pro-American and pro-American company, and he's going to do everything he can to strengthen our foot on the global stage.
Yeah, but people are worried that this is going to lead to bigger things in terms of a trade war. What do you want to say to people who are worried about that and where this goes next, understanding that it's the America First strategy?
Well, this president is driven by economic success. I mean, look at where he's taken, look at where his policies have taken us already. We've had the Dow cross, 26,000. We have unemployment at a record 17-year low. We have got all of these companies now investing in their workers by giving them bonuses or raising their wages because of the historic tax reform that he enacted last month. All of the policies that he's enacting are revitalizing this economy and sending it to new heights. And he's very, cognizant of those accomplishments. And this is something that we are going to be carrying forward in the future. There's only good things to come for America.
Yeah, we're waiting on what we should expect from NAFTA. When are you expecting the president to start making news there?
I think with the government shutdown, we're negotiating, and we know that the USTR ambassador Lighthizer is looking at these discussions. I think that in the spring, the month of May, you're going to see some real movement on that front.
All right, all right. We will keep watching that. Kelly, let me ask you this: the president is going to be coming here to Davos later this week, set to deliver remarks on Friday, 2 p.m. Here, local time. What should we expect to hear from the president?
Well, I think the president is going to, announce his pro-growth strategies on the world stage. Listen, I've gone through the stats of like how great this economy and how great it is under the president. He's going to talk about regulations and how, we've slashed 22 regulations for every one that we've acted, and how that, along with tax reform and, free and open but fair and reciprocal trade matter, and that we're open for business, but we're taking numbers, and there's this trade deficit with China, this $300 billion trade deficit with China. We're going to take action on that.
Are you expecting a response from China on the tariffs on the solar panels?
I don't know. The Chinese government, I think the foreign minister has already made some remarks on that. And that is fine. Yeah. I think President Xi knows exactly where this president is coming from, and they have a good and open dialogue.
Yeah, for sure. Kelly, it's good to have you on the program this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.